Yeah,
well, he's always known how to be a celebrity, right? Like that reminded me of the reality TV show aspect of Trump, right? He knew.
I think you're giving him more. I don't even think it's knowing how to be. I think he's a narcissistic. I didn't. The one thing I didn't know when I wrote In Trump We Trust is how profoundly stupid he is.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and one of Trump's most aggressive allies, Ann Coulter, is just now coming around to the fact that Trump isn't as bright as she once thought he was. Coulter is a great example of how depraved the right wing can be, in that her only complaint about Trump is that he didn't go far enough when it came to immigration policy. And if you don't already know, Ann Coulter has made a career out of being a racist mouthpiece for the Republican Party.
I made very clear in the book the only thing he could do, we will forgive him for anything. And I defended him the day after the Access Hollywood, tape came out. I was giving a speech before like 5,000 people in California up in farmland. And I was pedal to the metal defending him. And I said, we'll forgive him for anything, but unless you betray us on immigration. Yeah. Oh, and guess what he did?
She seems to have some regrets about pulling all of her faith into Donald Trump, even going so far as writing a book about him. But her issues with Trump come from him not going far enough on all of his cruel policies, as again, Coulter seems to relish in the fact that she is a white nationalist icon. While her attempts to remove herself from Trump may seem like a fix to her, everyone knows who the Republican Party now bows down to. If Republicans happen to be the Republican nominee in 2024, you can be sure that people like Coulter will have tried to distance themselves from the MAGA cult, will be lining back up to defend Trump on anything that comes across the table. The more pressing issue is this. People like Ann Coulter make up the modern-day GOP, even in the halls of Congress. They may bicker about different things that the other one had said, but they all fundamentally agree on ridiculous ideas and push Christian nationalism on the rest of the country, and they aren't shy about it at all. Anyone who isn't white or conservative or Christian doesn't fit their definition of American, and they will find any way to tear them down. Just recently, Ann Coulter made racist comments about Nikki Haley after her announcement for running for 2024. That boldly racist sentiment of go back to where you came from? Yeah, Coulter's a big fan of using that kind of language towards people of color. But keep in mind that she has been doing this racist talking head thing since the 90s, and somehow she still finds ways to beat herself on what horrible things she can say to steal some of the infamy from the rest of the MAGA crowd.
She's just a preposterous creature. But her candidacy did remind me that I need to immigrate to India so I can demand they start taking down parts of their history.
Well, you are a good...
What's with the worshiping of the cows? They're all starving over there. They're worshiping cows. Do you know they have a rat temple where they worship rats? Hey, baby cake, why don't you go back to your own country and reconsider that history? How about Gandhi's behavior with little girls? Can we review that?
Wait a minute.
As you may know, I am referring to Nikki Haley, child of immigrants, governor of South Carolina.
Also, depending on who is in the White House, much like the majority of Republicans, her diehard conservative values can take back seat in the quest for power. In 2015, Coulter said, quote, "I don't care if Trump wants to perform abortions in the White House after this immigration policy paper." So very pro-life of her, very Christian. Here's the thing. Coulter isn't exactly the brightest bulb out there herself. From believing in conspiracy theories to arguing the theory of evolution in science, she doesn't exactly portray spotless intelligence. But you know what they say about birds of a feather, right? And Coulter will continue to exist in the right-wing sphere as yet another squawk about how racist she really is. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.